Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Muslim Money Show. We have our Muslim money expert here, Brother Sam. How you doing, akhi? MashaAllah, tabarakallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Just to reintroduce you guys to Sam, he is, mashallah, tabarakallah, a developer in the real estate space. $100 million of Muslim money has been invested through him in real estate, 100% riba free. And with Allah Azza wa Jalla's permission and his tawfiq, Sam's been helping Muslims become financially independent through his investment projects. He's got investors that have made hundreds of thousands, investors that have made millions with Allah Azza wa Jalla's permission. And that's why we've got him here as an expert to talk about this very important thing, money. So Sheikh, look, money has been legislated by Allah, as in transactions, business, has been legislated by Allah Azza wa Jal, because human beings are in need of what's in someone else's hand. You've got things that I don't have, I've got things that you don't have. So the only way to for me to have my needs fulfilled is to have what's in your hand. I could steal it from you, but that would be oppression, that would be haram. You've basically earned that through your effort, through your knowledge, through your skill. If I want it, I've got to transfer something to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a transaction. So
Right.
there are transactions that are permissible, transactions that are haram. Now, human beings then start to want with this money more than that which just satisfies their basic needs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not haram, that's permissible. Start to want to buy cars, clothes, houses, invest, they spend their money on all these different things. And they do it because they're searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
And most people will say it's
Mhm.
searching for happiness. And there's a common saying, people say money can't buy you happiness. And usually people will say that the guy who said that was a guy who had money.
Right.
Ask a poor man, he will say, no, money will absolutely buy me happiness.
Right.
You're obviously a person who's come from poverty, not being able to afford your children's nappies
Mm-hmm.
or your child's nappies,
Mm-hmm.
to now being worth 8 figures. Allahumma barik. Did money buy you happiness?
I like how you put it, Sheikh. Like how you put it. So I have been happy without money, and I've been happy with money, alhamdulillah. And I prefer the latter, happiness with money. And I
Okay.
think the answer to this question is, Sheikh, does money buy happiness? I think money buys options, and those options buy you freedoms, and those freedoms buy you happiness.
Mhm.
So indirectly, money does buy happiness.
Okay. So when you say freedoms, what do you mean?
So I think, Sheikh, there are 4 stages of making money people go through.
Okay.
Number 1 is survival stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we need to survive.
Yeah.
That's when I was cleaning the restroom and all that. We
Yeah.
have all been there, fast food, whatever we had to do just to survive, just
Mhm.
to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Barely making the bills. Number 2, once people pass that stage,
Yeah.
is status.
Yeah.
Okay. So they need to buy a house because their cousins have bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
They need to drive a nice car because their uncles drive a nice car.
Yeah.
So they need to have the status
Uh-huh.
that they think they have to have because of their families, peer pressure, basically.
Yeah.
The problem is, Sheikh, before I go to the next 2 stage, a lot of us get stuck in the first 2 stage of
Uh-huh.
money, survival and status.
Uh-huh.
The next 2 stages are, number 3 is freedom,
Okay.
and number 4 is impact.
Okay.
Okay, Sheikh. So number 3, freedom, is basically doing what you like doing
Uh-huh.
with people you love, the companionship,
Uh-huh.
and doing it when you want to do. Basically living life on your terms.
Okay.
That's freedom.
Yeah.
And number 4 is impact.
Yeah.
The impact that you made or you make because of the freedom that Allah has given you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the ultimate stage that we should all aspire for. But I think we get stuck in the survival and status mode.
So one more time, freedom is the ultimate stage.
No, survival, status, freedom, and then impact.
And then impact, sorry.
Yeah, impact is
purpose.
the purpose.
Purpose. Okay.
Purpose.
I want to come to purpose.
Yep.
Because there's a lot to discuss about that, and it's directly connected to freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also worth mentioning, that conceptually speaking, there is a way to be free
Yep.
without a lot of money.
Of course.
I'm currently reading this book by a man called Eric Hoffer.
Mhm.
It's called The True Believer.
Mhm.
He's an anthropologist.
Yep.
Anthropologists are people, for those who don't know, who study human behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Study human societies
Mm-hmm.
over the years and how humans behave in certain ways, why they believe certain things, why do they have certain customs and cultures. So the book is about why people join mass movements,
Mhm.
and whether it be a political movement, an economic movement, a religious movement, or any movement for that matter, like MAGA, for example, Make America Great Again, is a movement, right? The Bolshevik Revolution, that was a movement. And he mentions that one of the fundamental categories of people that join movements are people that are poor. And I like the way he breaks the poor people down. He says, you've got unified poor, you've got the new poor, you've got the creative poor, you've got, he breaks them down into all these different categories.
Yeah.
You've got the free poor.
Yeah.
So he says, if you're a poor person but you're free, you're actually not that upset.
Wow.
And you can be poor and free in certain situations. He goes, if you're poor and you're a slave, then you're angry, right? But if you're poor and you're free, like for example, you're a farmer, you manage to get by. You're not worried.
You have your own farmland, so you have your cattle.
You get to do what you want to do.
Yeah. Yep.
He says you're not going to be you're not going to feel that need for change, right? So you can be happy. He mentions the creative poor. The creative poor are people that are like scientists or writers, scholars in Islam, for example.
Wow.
They don't have money, but impact, purpose. They live in their purpose. And there's an element of freedom in that I get to do the thing that I'm doing, that I want to do. He goes, they're so happy, but they're poor. He goes, then the other one is the unified poor. He goes, these are people that have close family ties.
Right.
Or they feel part of a brotherhood.
Yeah.
He goes, they're happy.
Yeah.
They're happy being poor as long as I'm with my family.
Right.
This is one of the reasons why, in order to create the feminist movement, they had to separate husband and wife.
Wow.
They had to separate mother and child.
Right.
Because they had to separate them. The mother couldn't be united to the children anymore. The mother couldn't be united to the husband anymore, because she'd happy stay home, be a housewife as long if that's her circle. Without going on too much of a tangent. And then he mentions there's the abject poor. He goes, these are guys that they're just trying to get the next meal.
Right.
But he goes, the people that...
Those are in survival state.
Survival mode.
Yep.
He goes, the new poor, which are people who... They used to belong to riches, but they have just had things taken away from them. They find that money they used to have doesn't give them the same opportunities. They're the ones who want to make money. He goes, and anyone who doesn't find purpose and doesn't find freedom with the lack of money will want to make serious change. Thus, in our context, to make more money, to be able to get that. So the reason I want to mention that is because that nuance is very important, right? That nuance is very important in that you can be happy by doing the things that you love. For example, writing, seeking knowledge, whatever.
Right.
You'll be considered creative poor. Right. Or creative, economically challenged. If you're unified, you have a group of people that you're close with, your family, that's what you care about, that's where your wealth is. Likewise, if you have a group that you're united with, but if you lack a group of people that love you, if you lack, for example, purpose, effectiveness in your life, and you lack freedom, you're going to want money. The point that I want to get at and how I want to connect it all together is that I've experienced poverty from the angle of having purpose, right? Having purpose in that I just want to seek knowledge and give da'wah. But the thing is, if you have high aspirations and you want this da'wah to spread, or like you're a scientist and you want your inventions to have investments, you want these things to spread, you're going to find in this day and age, because of the way that the economic climate is and because of how expensive things are and how much inflation is, that you will naturally find your creativity being restricted without money.
Right.
Likewise, you have a family unit that you love. Part of having that family unit is that you sacrifice for them.
Right.
Like the Chinese, what they would do, subhanAllah, is that they were so connected to their family members, they would sacrifice themselves. So they had the thing where a person who was from a rich family, who was going to be executed for a crime, could then basically pay someone to take the punishment on his behalf.
Wow.
So a man would present himself to be a substitute for execution. If the price was enough for his family to be taken care of after his death, he would give himself to that. So likewise, we sacrifice for our family members, our group, right? We want to provide funds for our children to do Quran, to be homeschooled. This stuff is not cheap.
Right.
It's not cheap.
Right.
So in this day and age, again, I personally experienced, and this is one of the reasons why we embarked on this whole Righteous and Rich project, was because we were doing da'wah, which was fulfilling our purpose. We had family members who we loved dearly, and we didn't want to raise them in the West going to public school. We wanted to make all these changes. We couldn't do it without a significant amount of money. I'm not saying multi-millionaires, but at the least, you've got good money coming in.
Right.
And for that reason, I feel like in this day and age, it's more important now than ever
Right.
to make sure you got your money right.
Of course, Sheikh.
Because even one of the things that he mentions in the book is that it's the middle class man actually has become the new poor.
Of course.
Because of how everything is just more expensive than it used to be.
Yes, Sheikh, absolutely. There's many profound points you mentioned, Sheikh. I want to touch on one from the end. So, for example, the middle class. I feel like the middle class is stuck in the status mode, right? And that's where they don't have true happiness, even though society perceives them to be financially successful. I'll give you an example. So people who are stuck in the status mode, they made their identity a number. Okay. So I want to buy a house that's $450,000 worth in that neighborhood. And I want to have 2 cars financed or leased, basically on payments, not paid off. House is not paid off. And I'm, sending my kids to school and we're taking 1 vacation a year. For that, I need X amount. The problem is all these goals that they have put for themselves is based on perception. Like this is the status. This is what I need to do. Then what happens, Sheikh? I know families, right, where the husband is working sometimes overnight shift. It could be a blue-collar worker who goes to factory and works, or it could be a white-collar worker who goes to the hospital and works, but works overnight. By the time he comes home, and these are real stuff, he's tired. Then the wife goes to work. The wife comes back home. She's tired. So they're not spending time together. And the kids grow up watching this, and the parents think, because we're putting food to the table, we're giving you 2 vacations a year, you're living in a nice house, nice neighborhood, status basically, we're doing enough, right? But ultimately, these families fall, these marriages fall apart because they have not understand the true essence. They're linking happiness directly to a number. You understand, Shah? So they could be perceived as financially free, but psychologically, they're enslaved.
So if you're not connecting, I'm talking to you here, if you don't connect your happiness to a number, what do you connect your happiness to?
So good example, Sheikh, I remind myself with. For example, sometimes we go out on vacations, getaways with the family, right? Like on Eid, we all went on mini staycations.
Yeah.
So, Sheikh, the comparison there is we plan that, hey, I'm going to take my kids, my wife to this spot. Yeah. Let's say Muscat or Qatar or somewhere, private beach villa, whatever. So this is the identity. This is where I'm going to go. And we're going to stay there for 2 days and come back. So that's your grand finale.
Yeah.
But when you reflect on that journey, Sheikh, a month later, a year later, 2 years later, and you start seeing the pictures, you actually made the most memories, not at the grand finale. It was on your way to the grand finale. Like that stop you made at the gas station. Yeah. You bought something, even on our Righteous Ride trips. Yeah. What are the best memories? It's not necessarily the Anantara World Island Resort. It's those small jokes. It's on the way. It's him sharing this. It's, I'm tired. I'm doing this. So the journey, the fulfillment is in the journey, Sheikh. And that's how I tie my money journey. It's just a scorecard. It's not my identity. It's the journey, the people's lives that I'm going to touch in that journey, the impact that I'm going to make with the finance that I earned in that journey. I tie the happiness with those. Okay. That's what gives you fulfillment, not the destination itself.
I just want to focus on this point for a little bit longer, right? Because at what point did you know that that's where you would find happiness? Not in the money, but was there a point at the beginning when you were trying to make money where you genuinely thought that this money would bring you happiness? Or did you always know that, no, it's going to be connected to the things that I'm going to do with my family and the lives that I'm going to impact and the things that I want to do that bring me happiness and joy and fulfillment that are going to bring me happiness? Was there a point where you made that mistake, or did you always know?
So for me, Sheikh, always money was tied to problems. Okay. How so? So when I did not have money, the problem was my tire goes flat. I cannot go to work. I don't have money to fix it until my next paycheck. Okay. So at that time, I'm thinking, how do I make enough? If my tire gets flat, I don't have to worry. I can just get it fixed, get to work, get moving. Right, Sheikh? Then you make that money. Then the worry becomes, okay, this is taking time away from me. Man, this tire gets flat every now and then. How do I buy a car? It's a brand new car so that I can get my things done without wasting time on these tires and stuff. You understand, Sheikh? So money does not solve problems. Money brings different set of problems. So right now in life, inshallah, alhamdulillah, I'm not worried about tires getting flat. I'm not worried about even if that get flat. Those things don't bother me anymore. It's bigger problems now. Do you understand, Sheikh?
So it just seems like what money helps you do is just become more efficient.
Absolutely, Sheikh. And that was my motivation. Why am I cutting grass in the house that's taking me an hour? Oh, because I don't have money? I can pay someone $20 to do it, and I can make $100. So that was always the paradigm for me.
Okay, so you're basically using money as a tool to create more efficiency, or one might say leverage in life, to be able to do something else, which is
far greater. So for example, Sheikh, the bigger problem now to solve is the questions that investors have. The bigger problems to solve right now is how do we fulfill the promises we have made? The bigger problem right now is how do we continue doing this and touch more lives? Like, Sheikh, when I get on this call, I get goosebumps every time people mention the reason of why they want to invest, because every call I ask, why do you want to invest? What's the actual reason, right? So it could be, starting from I have riba-based mortgage on the house and I have this much saving, but it will take me, now that I have realized I have made a mistake, it will take me years if I just, keep earning money and keep saving without investing to pay that off and get off that riba. So I want to invest, compound, and pay that off. Starting from there to more noble intentions, I want to send my kids to University of Medina and I want to sponsor it completely. I don't want them to worry about anything. I want to make hijrah. I have already made hijrah. Now I want to focus on my own Quran journey. I don't want to be bothered about money. I want to just focus on my own journey of knowledge. So all these reasons, Sheikh, now these are quote unquote problems that I'm solving. Right? It's not anymore my tire is flat. It's not anymore my wife is stuck somewhere. Her car is not working. What do I do now? I'm in the middle of, working for someone else. I cannot take off and go and rescue her. These are the problems people face with little money. And, it might sound very condescending, Sheikh, but that's the reality. Our problems, money will not solve your problems. It's not like you'll wake up one day, you have so much money that you have no problems, but the set of problems will be different. Solving them will be more fulfilling.
But Sheikh, what do you say then to a person who's actually making money? He makes 6 figures plus annually. Maybe he's got a great job, an executive job, right? Or he's an entrepreneur. He's making hundreds of thousands a month, maybe millions a year, like up to $1 million, I would say. The problem that I'm about to say applies to this category of people, but he's still financially stuck. He doesn't have the freedom that he wanted. Taking that money and he spent it on cars, on clothes, on these status symbols that you mentioned.
Exactly, Sheikh. So he's stuck on status. So he has not promoted. So there is not a certain amount you need to be promoted from status to freedom. It's different for different people.
Okay.
So you could be making $1 million a year, but you're still stuck in the status mode. You just barely got out of survival. You're still stuck in status mode because you're just spending on things that you don't like to impress the people you don't love. And you continue to do that, and that's why you're stuck in status. You never move to freedom, right, Sheikh? And then also I want to take it one step forward. Some people are stuck in freedom. They never think about impact. I'll give you an example. So, and I think that's one of the most dangerous stages where I was stuck for a long time.
In freedom, but not impact.
Yeah, in freedom, but not impact.
Okay.
So what's that stage? Freedom is, okay, alhamdulillah, I make enough money where my wife does not have to go to work and, work with non-mahrams. She manages our business with other sisters in a good environment where my kids go to Islamic private school. I'm talking when I was in America.
Yeah.
That's freedom, right, Sheikh? But I got stuck there. Okay, so my kids go to school where I pay $1,500 a month for each. That's $3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a year. So I'm thinking I'm giving them private Islamic education. But a step above that, Sheikh, is how do I create an Islamic private school in America where it's not $1,500 a month, where I'm creating an endowment, a scholarship endowment to finance the kids or the family who cannot afford it yet, right, Sheikh? But their merit is going unnoticed, is being wasted. So how can I create an endowment? How can I make money where I can put that in an endowment? Endowment pays for the scholarship of those kids. They could have probably way better potential than my daughters. But just by the virtue of birth, my daughters are going to Islamic private school and those kids are not. So that's the impact level of thinking. A lot of people get stuck in freedom. They don't go to impact.
So I'm going to ask you a very honest question, because people say this type of stuff, like having impact brings you true happiness. Does that give you more happiness?
Of course, Sheikh. Of course.
Why?
I think human beings were created to create value, Sheikh. To create value, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and create value. You know, it could be, like you said, it could be creative poor, but you're creating value. And if you stop, and I go back to the example of the journey, if you're not on the journey, Sheikh, and that's why people, when they identify themselves with this number, because a lot of people in the comments might say, oh, I know this guy with so much money jumped off the 15th floor of the building and killed himself because his identity was tied to a number. It was not tied to impact. It was not tied to fulfillment, right? So it's by birth, we were created to add value, Sheikh.
There's actually a hadith that many people are not aware of. Right? It's a hadith and it's authentic as well. Imam al-Bayhaqi narrates it, where Allah Azza wa Jalla actually tells you in this hadith that the Prophet is narrating it from Allah, the reason why Allah sent down wealth. And it's actually for impact.
Wow.
إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَا مَالًا لِإِقَامِ الصَّلَاةِ وَإِيتَاءِ الزَّكَاةِ كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. I sent down wealth so that the salah can be established and the zakat can be given. I.e., wealth was placed on this earth to be used as a tool to establish Allah's rights and to take care of those that are in need.
Yeah.
Salah is for Allah, zakat is for the people, right? And then the next part of the hadith is the famous part that everyone knows. Which is, if you give the son of Adam one valley of gold, he will only want another valley of gold. And the only thing that will fulfill him up is the dirt from his grave. We all know that part, but we don't know the first part. It wasn't popularized for some reason. Right? And that's, I think, what happens when you're stuck at status and freedom mode.
Yes.
You've got money, but you just want more money. You want more money. You just keep making things even more and more efficient for the sake of making it efficient.
Right.
Without ever getting to that point of, what am I going to do for Allah?
Right.
What am I going to do for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal?
Yeah.
I want to create, for example, this endowment, this waqf, a school to be able to, for our children.
Yes.
These are the kind of things, like, for example, for us, there's many ways that we can make money with Allah's permission. Allah has given us a platform and opportunities. When opportunities come to us every single day, but we've committed to building a network of Muslims, 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs, so we could bring them together. And the whole objective is that when you bring these guys together, yes, they'll do business, yes, they'll structure deals, yes, all that will happen, but we will also create such powerful momentum. When you bring these types of great men together, they will produce things that will serve the ummah.
Right.
So because we want to bring people to solve these big problems in the ummah, that's really where our motivation is. That's why we have this network that we're going to be launching very soon, inshallah ta'ala. But there's got to be that higher purpose.
Absolutely,
There's got to be that higher purpose. And without it, you're going to find yourself jumping off the top of a building.
Yes.
Even if you've got all the money in the world.
Yeah. So Sheikh, absolutely 100%. And that's where people do that because they're not blissfully dissatisfied. They're just dissatisfied. What do I mean by that, Sheikh?
What's the difference?
Blissfully dissatisfied meaning, let me first tell you what dissatisfied means. Dissatisfied means I envy when I see another man with more blessings. Because I'm just seeing a microscopic view of where he's excelling and where I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not seeing his full life.
Yes.
Everybody got problems. Yeah. Everybody got problems, Sheikh. Everybody's dealing with them their own ways. You just see one microscopic view and you envy the person. Yeah. And you start becoming dissatisfied with your own life. Correct. And Prophet ﷺ warned against that, right? Blissful dissatisfaction means, Sheikh, I'm dissatisfied because I have not reached my full potential. My full potential. And I'm in bliss because I'm enjoying the journey of that pursuit. That I know, inshallah, what Allah has created me for. The impact that I can create. But I'm not doing anything. I could do much more. I could do much more, Sheikh. I should have. I was just reflecting this a week ago. Why haven't I memorized the full Quran? What's the excuse? Zero, Sheikh. Allah has blessed me so much. Allah has given me the time freedom. So that's where blissful dissatisfaction comes. I was like, man, I have no excuse. Literally, I could not think of an excuse.
Really,
Sheikh. Subhanallah. So I'm like, man, this is scary. And even saying that right now, I feel scared. I'm like, what am I going to answer Allah when He asks, I gave you everything. Where was your Quran memorization?
It's a very profound point because, look, I'm not trying to say that you cannot memorize the Quran if you don't have financial stability.
Of course not, Sheikh.
I definitely think that there will be more people that have memorized the Quran if they didn't have
Sheikh,
to
if
work.
I just take one investor specifically, brother moved from...
Is he one of your investors?
Yes, from the States to Egypt 6 years ago to completely become a student of knowledge. From the States. He was born in the United States, okay? And he was able to do that because he has remote work. He's a highly qualified brother. He has remote work where he makes, alhamdulillah, a good amount of money every month. Now, every money he makes, he does not spend it on status and freedom, on impact. He's investing those funds with us so he can compound his wealth. And he has, I think, finished the memorization of the Quran, or he's almost there. Right. Now he's putting his kids through the program. And he said, someone born in the West, grew up in the West, to even think that way, to do it that way, you need financial stability. We can always talk like, leave everything and come, but it's not easy for everyone, Sheikh. You need that stability behind you in order to make those moves. Sorry to cut your thoughts out, but there's a live example when you mentioned that. Alhamdulillah.
No, I'm just reflecting, subhanAllah. Even yesterday, I got a message from a brother, just a similar story, and I'm just thinking, subhanAllah, it's just how people are starting to wake up to this reality. He's also moved to Egypt. He's a sales guy. And he actually is a sales guy for our brother Abu Lahya on his team. And he told me, he moved. He moved to Egypt because he just wanted to leave a non-Muslim country.
Right.
But he needs to be financially secure.
Yep.
So he learnt this craft of appointment setting.
Right.
Which is not an easy task.
Right.
It's very tedious, repetitive. I can't imagine people really enjoying it a lot. Maybe some people can, but the thought of it depresses me. But, he made his income, and then he became better and better and better at the craft, Allah barik. And he said, look, just last month,
right,
he had some goals, financial goals, and he finally reached them. He finally reached them. He said, I want to be grateful to Allah. I don't know how though. Like, what would you advise me? How will I show gratitude to Allah with this new wealth that I have? And as you were saying this, I was just thinking, subhanAllah, of course we should be grateful to Allah for everything.
Of course,
right? For the fact that we have a roof over our head regardless.
Yes.
But most people are not even able to come to those realizations because of the stresses in their mind. Like,
exactly,
you struggle to think about, let me be grateful to Allah for what I have, even though that's your fault and you absolutely should be grateful regardless of the situation.
Yep.
But it clogs up the brain when you've got bills to pay.
Because of our weakness, but it does.
Right, it does.
Yeah.
Now this brother's in a point where he's like, my financial situation is so secure because he goes, I want to introduce this act of worship called shukr in my life that I wasn't even focusing on. Because I was just praying my salah, and I was giving my zakat, I was doing my siyam.
Right.
But this new act of worship called shukr, which I've not really had a relationship with, I want to double down, triple down on it.
Yes.
And he was able to do that because he's got his money sorted.
Correct.
Not that I'm saying you need...
No. So powerful, Shah. When we did the principles podcast, which I might buy, people will see it. One of my principles was the gratitude exercise, which I have started doing, alhamdulillah, Shah, because exactly that example, because the stress test is not there anymore. And it's my weakness. I'm not saying that's how it should be. Well, we're not saying that's how you're not stressed, you think about gratitude. It's due to my weakness, but now it's an active act of worship for me.
Actually, hadith, the Prophet taught us to make dua. We do it every morning and evening. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-kufri wal-faqr.
Yes.
Poverty. I seek refuge with you from poverty and disbelief.
Yes.
And disbelief is to cover the blessing.
Yes.
And there's a connection between poverty and covering the blessings.
Yes.
Because when a person is in a state of hardship and he's just thinking about that next meal, he's not thinking. The shukr is the action of the heart. It requires you to think, to process, to actually ponder. And it's hard to do that when your brain is just fried.
Yeah.
So in essence, what we're saying here to people is that money in and within itself doesn't buy you happiness. Because if you end that status, then you'll still be depressed.
Right.
And if you end that freedom, it gives you ease, but not necessarily happiness.
Right.
Happiness comes from having the opportunity to live out your purpose.
Yep.
Am I correct in understanding?
100%, Sheikh. 100%. I could not have said it better.
So status is like whatever.
First is survival, Sheikh. I think everybody just needs to, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, 100%.
We just need to get out of the survival mode.
Yeah.
Sheikh, but we all start in the survival mode. But that's when all these, all the podcasts, everything, but Abu Lahya's program, all those things are there for you to get out of the survival mode. Boom, get out. Then don't get stuck in the status mode. That's the worst, pitfall.
I was just reading this morning from Ibn Qayyim, rahmallah, and saying status, chasing status, and you can call it status, you can call it recognition from people, you can call it praise from people, avoiding criticism from people. It's all in the same category, right? It's all in the same category. Being concerned with people.
Yes.
This is such a filthy thing that it prevents you. It steals from your actions for Allah.
Yeah.
Like, as in, forget money. Because people are so addicted to the praise of others and the recognition of others, a salah which is for Allah, they will change it from being for Allah's sake to a human sake. So if that which was for Allah, you're going to give up because you're chasing people's status. Subhanallah Azim. Then, of course, that which is not for Allah in the first place, which is your money, which you're, you spending on your own self, which is halal, you're definitely going to give that up.
Of course.
Because if you can give up your salah because of status, you can give up your money.
Absolutely.
And then he says, one of the best ways, Sheikh Khalid Sabt actually was commenting on this. He said, one of the best ways to overcome this disease is just to ponder over the reality of the human. He said, this human, he goes, he's weak. He himself is needy. He urinates. He defecates. And if he's sick, someone needs to come and clean his nappy for him. And give him food. And he becomes immobile. And then when he dies, his body rots. And he goes, he could die inside of his own house. His own family won't know. And they will only become, alert when they smell the stench of his body. Because that's the reality of that human who you're trying to, impress. It's such a joke.
Yes.
It's such an absolute joke. That just because of what people think of this car. One of the things that I've realized recently, subhanAllah, is that all the wealthy people around me don't care about these toys, these symbols of wealth. Like, I don't see a watch on you. And you are completely entitled to have a watch. Allah Barik. But I've never seen a watch on you. But guys who don't even have a fifth of what you have, guys who don't even have a 20th of what you have a watch. They have an AP.
What's that, Sheikh?
I don't even know. I hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't drive a supercar. You drive a very convenient Chinese car,
Alhamdulillah.
Right?
Alhamdulillah.
And it's just so dumb. Like, there's guys we know that have got 9-figure funds. They just got a basic Audi. A basic, comfortable, convenient car. Allah Barik. He's always wearing what? Just a H&M t-shirt. A plain t-shirt.
Yes.
And it makes sense because, subhanAllah, number one, you understand happiness is not in those things. But number two, I guess you probably use that money to invest it.
Yes. And here's Sheikh, a very important point you mentioned. And I think it, comes to impact. For example, some might ask, oh, well, Brother Sam has a large house. Alhamdulillah, Allah is blessed with, For me, Sheikh, it's again tied to impact. We love, me and my wife both, we love hosting like big gatherings, like just feeding, being in an environment of just people coming, eating, enjoying, relaxing, creating those environments and memories, right? And of course, that's possible in a small house as well. There could be more barakah in that house. But technically, in the West, and even here, the way we want to do it, or we would have done it, we want 2 separate entrances, one for the sisters. We want sisters to come, directly be in their safe space where, if they want to take their hijab off, they could just relax with other sisters and enjoy and talk. And we want brothers on the other side where we're having good time. For that, you need a spacious house.
If I can with respect stop you right there, you don't even have to explain that. You know why? There's a hadith person that indicates having a small house brings you distress.
A lot of distress.
There's a hadith. There's a small house brings you distress. A small house, an unreliable vehicle, and a bad neighbor.
Wow.
The Prophet said it clearly. Hadith is in Mustadrak Imam al-Hakim, if I'm not mistaken, or Sahih ibn Hibban, one of the two. Someone could double check me and correct me in the comments. But having a spacious house is something, like the Prophet didn't mention watch.
Wow.
He didn't mention a thobe or... There's nothing wrong with having expensive clothes.
Right.
We're not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. But be intentional, as you've mentioned.
Of course.
In the past, right? But the point here is that actually, you're in line with like your natural human disposition. Which is that money came, you didn't spend it on a watch or this stuff, but you spent it on a big house, which is exactly what you're supposed to do.
Alhamdulillah.
Like, imagine, no one wants to live in a prison. No one wants to live in a coffin.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So that's actually something you should spend money on. Those are the type of things you do
Yeah.
Spend money on.
Alhamdulillah,
Spend
Sheikh.
money on that, on a reliable car,
Of course,
on a good
Sheikh.
neighborhood.
Of
So you don't
course.
have bad neighbors.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Sheikh. Even, for example, when you have your parents over and live with you, if it's a small house, Sheikh, there'll be a lot of issues, right? So
The women are supposed to stay at home.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
girls are supposed to stay at home.
Absolutely.
So you give them the outside world in the house.
Yeah, in the house. Absolutely, Sheikh.
100%.
Absolutely, Sheikh. Alhamdulillah.
So, Sheikh, look, we would be cheating the people, I think, if we didn't talk about investment here and how it ties to this, because fundamentally, not everyone's going to be an entrepreneur,
Right.
right? But they're constantly just scaling the business, which is that they're just making more money for less work,
Yeah.
right? Or less man hours. They make their 1 hour worth 50K, and then 1 hour can be worth 100K because it's
Right.
your business, you're growing it, right?
Right.
Most people, and even then, they still need to invest if they want to scale it even
Of
more.
course.
Most people, they've got money. He's got 100K in the bank account, 200K in the bank account. He's got some savings, right? Or he could have savings, but he spent that money on buying cars or whatever have you, right? I feel like investment is the gap for the average man, for the middle class man,
Right.
to be able to still attain that lifestyle where he can have the freedom to be able to fulfill his purpose and do the things that matter if he invests, as opposed to spending that money on status symbols. Am I correct in that understanding?
100%, Sheikh. For example, yesterday, a local man here, the brother lives here, he committed to invest 4 million dirham.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. And his whole...
Is this with yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
In our project. And his whole goal was, look, Sam, I have 6 children. I have no debts.
That's like $1 million, not better.
Yes. Alhamdulillah, Sheikh.
Inshallah.
It was the last call. I didn't tell you about it, but alhamdulillah, it was the last call yesterday.
So yesterday, that's like a $1.5 million you got committed?
Yes, total 1.8 million USD.
In one night?
In one night. Alhamdulillah. It's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Sheikh. It's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically, Sheikh, he said, I have 6 children. I have no debts. So Sam, my target is I want to make these 6 individuals, man and woman, like stand up, kings and queens.
Oh, wow.
And I have no debts in my life right now. Alhamdulillah, I've done well for myself. Now invest this amount with you and I'll just live on the returns. On the returns, on the passive. So I can just make them the man and woman they're supposed to be. 6 children, Allahumma barik. Think of that, Sheikh. So first step is he had to get to the point where he had no debt. And you don't need 4 million dirham. You can start with 100,000 USD, 50,000 USD, whatever you're doing. But start somewhere. And I'm sure he did not earn his way to 4 million dirham, Sheikh. You invest your way to 4 million dirham.
He must have done other investments.
Exactly, Sheikh. And he compounded, and he went there. And I was like, okay, I want to put it in this investment and I just get my returns every 2 years, inshallah. And I can live my life on these. Yeah. So, alhamdulillah, Sheikh, so many. And these investors are teaching me the greatest lessons. Wallahi, Sheikh, like everybody's goal. For me, the most interesting part of the call is, so what's the point of this investment? Is it just because I want more money? I just have this, this money sitting around. I don't know what to do with it, or just like a purpose. And wallahi, Sheikh, I don't remember anyone just like investing without any purpose. Most of the people that are coming through your platform, our platform, alhamdulillah, people have actually purpose. And when I hear their purpose, it puts thoughts in me. I learn from them.
What was the one that shocked you the most?
There is so many, Sheikh. Like the one Somalian couple, brother was on the call, his wife was on the side, and they really want to make hijrah like ASAP. And they have elderly parents, both of them. They're taking care of both of them in UK. And that's like the 100K is the max they saved up. And they're like, we trust you. We trust in the project. We just want to invest it all so we can, with our elderly parents and everyone, just move to a Muslim land. And that level, Sheikh, and there's so many stories. I might be missing many, but in different levels, it just inspires you a lot. And then I realized, Sheikh, so much that we're lacking. I feel like I have so much more potential that I can do. Someone with 100K saved up is probably doing far more impact than me. So I just question my own. That's where the blissful dissatisfaction comes in. I just literally question like what I'm doing. I question everything. We could do so much more.
I think the misconception here, or not necessarily misconception, is a reality, but people don't know about the alternatives. But the misconception is that most people think that investments bring you returns incrementally over a very long period of time. So when you talk about put all this money that I have away, put all this money that I have today away now, for me to have $1 million 20 years from now.
Or 40 years from now.
Or 40 years from
I might not be alive.
That sounds depressing.
Yeah.
Like, as in, especially when, you know, I could take this money and, okay, cool. You know, I'm not gonna buy a supercar, but I'll buy, you know, a nice Mercedes.
Right.
Or, you know, instead of, you know, going to the Burj Al Arab,
Yeah.
I'll go to another 5-star hotel, for example.
Right.
And then let me spend the money and enjoy it.
Yep.
What do you have to say to those people? Because I can really empathize with that.
Mm.
I don't even know if I'm going to be alive in 40 years, 20 years.
You mentioned that to me, you know, long ago, Sheikh. And that's where I think, you know, if everybody is in different stage of their investment cycle, right? Someone probably who have made a lot of money in their 60s, they're okay with lesser returns, but stable. It's coming every month. But someone who's in their mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, early 40s, they want higher return. They want to grow their capital sooner. So they get to do stuff with it, blessed stuff with it in their lifetime, inshallah. Right? Yeah. So it depends, right, Sheikh, what stage you are in. But if you're in that stage in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, you probably need to get to an investment where the return is higher and it compounds well for you, inshallah.
Okay, but the return is higher.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Where do people find these? Because, again, I was actually just working on a video yesterday.
Right.
And the point about investments came up, and I was just reflecting, as in when I was putting the material together. I remember I was looking into investing in 2020. I went to the bookstore, and I was like, you know, let me buy these books on trading.
Right.
So let me invest in stocks. Later on, you find out that the stuff is haram.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm ignoring the nuances here, but generally it's haram. And then, okay, cool, look into Forex, haram. And then all these other different things. And either the investments, if they were halal, were very low in terms of returns, or they were halal but extremely risky.
Yep.
Or safe, high returns but haram. So either haram, risky, which is very low returns.
Right.
And I'm not just saying this because you're my friend. And Allah Azza wa Jalla is witness over me. I'm not just saying it because you're my friend and because I know you and we're on camera. But I don't know anyone else that gives the type of returns that you give.
Inshallah.
Allah Mabari. So the reason I mention this here is, are there other options? I'm not aware of it. And I've spent 15 years trying to look for these options.
There are, honestly, Sheikh, there could be, but I don't know of any.
Okay.
Which is, you know, stable, backed by real asset, tangible, halal, and also double-digit returns. I personally don't know of any institutional grade investment, but there could be. And if there is, you know, put in the comments. Would love to collaborate and do stuff together, but I personally don't know of any.
Well, I think we're living in a day and age, inshallah, where these things we're gonna start seeing these things.
Inshallah, Sheikh.
What's happened is that so many people have just looked at the systems of the non-Muslims that exist and have either just tried their best to avoid them completely, which is noble, but then that doesn't solve the problem at the same time.
Right.
Or have just tried to justify those things that are not permissible with like these dodgy fatwas and stuff like that.
There is a big fatwa that's going to drop soon in America.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The fatwa. Dodgy?
you tell me, Shah. Let me tell you what the fatwa is. That because there has been a fatwa around, right? You could take a riba-based loan for your first house in the West. It's been around for a long time. I'm sure you're aware of it, right?
I'm aware of it.
Yeah. Now there will be
Pakistan, unfortunately.
Yeah, there will be a fatwa dropping.
I'm mistaken. It came from Pakistan, right?
No, it actually came from Al-Azhar.
Okay, alhamdulillah. I'm not nationalistic, guys.
Yeah, no. I think from Pakistan it's very clear. Basically, you look for alternative. I think, as far as I know, Sheikh, you don't go for like. You know.
I haven't looked into it in much depth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the fatwa, that's the most famous fatwa, right? Now another fatwa is going to drop. It's basically permissible.
But just because, guys, we're saying that we disagree with that.
Oh, of course, Sheikh, of course.
Perfectly disagree.
Yeah, of course.
But
we're just saying that that one's been around for your first house. So that's nothing new.
Yeah.
It's not like jaw dropping anymore. But of course, like it's like crazy.
Yeah.
But the next fatwa that's gonna drop very soon in America is, are you ready? That you can take riba-based loan for not only your first home, for any homes in the West. And the logic is the need is so big of Muslims owning homes, which is a liability, by the way.
Yeah, you know
We
what,
discussed
you know
about
what
it.
makes me angry there?
Yeah.
Is that they're such lies.
Yeah.
They're such lies because it's actually a liability.
Yes. They don't even understand the financial.
liability.
Yeah, they don't even understand the financials or anything, Sheikh. But yeah, that's the fatwa that's going to drop. So
Just briefly explain how it's a liability.
yes, Sheikh, anything that does not cash flow is a liability. So you buying a house where you live.
Firstly, sorry to interrupt you. What is a liability? I just want to break this down for people because I don't want people to misunderstand.
Literally anything that does not generate cash flow is a liability.
So it takes money from you.
Takes money from you, but does not give anything back.
Okay.
It's a liability.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a house that you live, it's not giving you cash flow. It's for you to use. It's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, by the way, saying it's a bad liability. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I own a house myself.
But it's a liability.
It's a liability. Just go with the intent that I'm buying a liability. Like we buy the cars. It's needed. It's a tool, but it's a liability. Okay. It's not an asset. Even, I'll tell you, if, for example, people are like, oh, it's what I'm talking about. The I and the R and the S, how Grant Cardone says it, IRS of America, right, Sheikh? When they calculate your net worth, you could have a $10 million house that you live in. And let's say you have $200,000 in your bank account liquid. And that's your asset. What's your net worth?
$200,000.
$200,000. They don't count the $10 million house. Paid off, no debt. But it's your personal residence. It does not get counted towards your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to become an accredited investor without getting too much technicality, that's not going to be counted towards your net worth. And if your net worth is only $200,000, you're not an accredited investor. Even though you own a house, a mansion that's worth $10 million.
I think the problem is that they frame it as that buying a house is an investment opportunity.
No, it's not. Buying a house where you live is not an investment opportunity. Buying a house which you fix and flip, buying a house which you rent out, buying a land where you build a house and sell it, yeah, those are all investments. Huh?
Which you don't need mortgage for.
Of course not.
Because you can start that as we
joint ventures, so many things.
20K.
I have a full video on it on my channel, Sheikh, how to do those as a startup. But yeah, so that fatwa is going to drop.
Well, I think it's a tragedy that...
Oh, another logic they are going to use, Sheikh, sorry to cut you off, that it's so rampant around, there's no way to avoid it. So it's like zina is so rampant around with that logic. Like, that's the next thing you're going to halalify.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It just shows that, subhanAllah, number one, you know what? Let's just say we have good thoughts of these guys.
Yeah.
And we say that they're being genuine. They're trying to find solutions for the Muslims. And we know that in our Sharia.
But the second fatwa, how though, Sheikh? The first fatwa, maybe. I see the...
as in principle,
yeah.
Can I eat haram meat if I am dying of hunger?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's haram, but I can do it out of necessity. The problem is that they've misunderstood...
the necessity part.
I'm saying the biggest excuse I can make for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it any better.
Yeah.
Right? Is their incompetency in understanding the reality. Which is that, bro, it's not even a need.
Yeah.
It's actually harmful.
Yeah.
It's actually harmful. Like, you know, I saw a fatwa where they were like, credit cards are permissible.
Yeah. Same with student loans.
Yes, 18% interest rates?
Yeah. In America, is like 29, up to 29% is legal. 29 or 25, I forgot.
Look at that. I've seen these guys. I was watching a video of a guy explaining yesterday that there are some people that are like in their 40s. They've acquired so much credit card debt that they have accepted the fact that they will die and never be able to pay it off.
Subhanallah. You know, Sheikh, how
debt.
You know, Sheikh, how West differentiates between interest and usury. You know, usury is illegal in America.
Okay.
You know, the usury that we know from the story of Merchant of Venus, right? Yes. That's usury.
Uh-huh.
So for
I'm not
us,
familiar with the story of the Merchant of Venus.
So basically, a Jewish man lent some money to the Merchant of Venus. I forgot the story, but the concept is, and he couldn't pay it back.
Okay. So
the Jewish guy wanted like a pound of flesh from him. Like that was the interest. Like the payment plus a pound of flesh from your body. It's like a crazy story, you know? But the point is, they understand the concept. Usury is illegal in America. But do you know how they define usury? I forgot the exact number. Somebody can check. Anything over 25% interest or 29%. It's one of those two numbers.
What?
Anything over that is illegal. That's too much. That you're oppressing the person. So think about the logic, Sheikh. How did they even come up with the number? I've not done research. I have no idea. But anything less than 25% or whatever that number is.
That's like saying if I got a bottle of water, 99% pure, 1% urine.
Yeah.
It's fine to drink.
It's not usury. It's not oppression. You can drink it.
10%, 25% urine.
Oh, it's harmful.
But 1% of impurity
it's fine.
Impurity.
You can drink it. That's their logic, Sheikh. That's the Western logic. So impact, it brings to impact. So who's going to bring the change to this?
Yeah.
Do you understand, Sheikh? We can hear on this podcast, some people also might mention, okay, brothers, you're talking about this. So yeah, we agree. Mm-hmm. So who's going to come and bring about the change, the impact?
And that's why I ask Allah to give you strength, man, because it takes guts to be able to do what you're doing, man.
I mean,
you know, mashallah, tabarakallah, which is, because I'm sure there was 101 things you could have done to make money. And this is not an easy path.
Yeah.
And then when you're the first in a particular niche, a particular industry, doing things at this level, then the uphill battle is always steeper.
Of course, Sheikh.
But there are also brothers that I know who in the crypto space are working on investment funds. Allahumma barik.
Allahumma barik, yes.
I'm not sure about the type of returns they give. I don't know how secure, how safe, what the returns are, but there's stuff that's happening.
Of course, the point is invest. The point is do your due diligence.
Yeah. Yes.
Halal, haram, do that first. Yeah. Then second, do the due diligence on the actual merit of the project or the product. But invest. Don't hoard money. Yeah. Invest.
Because that investment, just to bring it back, will allow you to be able to make passive income.
Yeah.
Which will allow you to basically reinvest your time in things that will help you fulfill your purpose.
Yes.
Which is what brings you happiness.
Absolutely, Sheikh.
So money indirectly does bring you happiness.
On that, Sheikh, I'll mention one quick example. Impact, sometimes we think about big things. Yeah. Sometimes people cannot relate to those. Impact could be as simple as, Sheikh, like, for example, most of our mothers, your mom, whoever's watching it, being a great housewife for the entire life, served your father, never has seen the world, has no idea what's happening in the next block, forever stayed home, cooked, first, cleaned our diapers, cleaned us, then served the husband, then cooked, fed their entire life. Don't we, like, at least can create an impact in our parents' life? Like, give them a Umrah trip with business class, 7-star hotel, give them a good, relaxing experience. Take them to a Muslim land where there are service workers that can help them, maids helping them.
100%.
All those service, like, that's
because even if you did that, you wouldn't repay her.
Oh, nothing even close, Sheikh. But wouldn't we feel fulfilled doing that, Sheikh? So that's not impact that's changing the world, but that's impact that's going to change you.
Yeah.
You understand, Sheikh? So everything requires money. Like my father, he always wanted a nice Toyota RAV4. That's his dream car. You see, Sheikh, how their even dream is so, like, simple.
Allah.
Literally brand new Toyota RAV4. So the moment I was able to afford it for him, I was like 40,000 or 42,000 USD. I bought it paid off, surprised him with it brand new. If you still drive it, I think it's like 6-year-old now. Like, it's from 2019 or 2020, I forgot. It was brand new that time. If you still get on it, it's like it just came out of the dealer. It's his baby.
MashaAllah, he likes it, huh?
Oh my God. You'll make sure that your shoes are not muddy or whatnot before getting it.
What did he say when you gave it to him?
He was, Sheikh, he didn't say anything to me, but he called everyone. He called his sister. You know what? He called my neighbors. You know what he did for me? He bought this for me. It's brand new. There's no debt on it, So those things, Sheikh, I would, like, relive over and over that memory. I think in the recent memory, that's the best memory of my father.
Really?
Sheikh, so that positive fulfillment, I can live with that. Sheikh, so you create impact and fulfillment, even if you're not, like, I don't even know what to do for the world. Do it for your parents, bro. Do it for your siblings. Do it for your wife. Do it for your kids. There's so much impact you can make. Sheikh, like, when we get on the economy line of a plane, it's too much, like, lines, right? Sheikh, it's like big lines and whatnot. Inshallah, we should strive. Man, if I'm taking my women in my house, my mom, my wives, and my daughters, I should be in a line where it's more privacy. It's 100%. Less lines. I'm talking about the Western world. Here, alhamdulillah, like niqab there's a different line. Alhamdulillah. So it's the blessing of a Muslim country, right? But in the West, it's everybody together, 100%. Right? So there's smaller impacts. You need to fly business class for them to be not, like, shoved by other people. And another step, inshallah, is private jet where there's no TSA lines. You just get on the jet and fly wherever you want to go, inshallah. But those are the impacts, Chef. Those are the impacts.
Well, akhi, barakallah feek, man. I think it's been a very fruitful discussion, man. I'm sure some people might be interested in getting to know you more and getting to know your projects more.
Inshallah.
So what we'll do is we'll place.
Sheikh, I'm a student, by the way. Like, I hate the introduction with due respect that you do. I'm just a student.
I'm not doing it though.
I'm just a student, Sheikh, and we're here to learn. So we want people to comment and engage and tell us if we're missing something, if we said anything wrong. We want to learn.
No, mashallah, jazakallah khair, man. No, definitely, inshallah. The engagement is always welcome. What we'll do is we'll just we'll place the link to your stuff below, inshallah. If anyone's interested, you have a current project here in Dubai, they can get more information inshallah below. With that said, we'll see you next week for another episode of the Muslim Money Show. With that said, subhanak Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.